at the catch basin and creating a whole dam area where it backs up into my drive. My wife's got to put on milking boots to go out and check the mail. And that's not to say anything about the neighbor's yard. Now, the neighbor's yard is where this mold has been detected to be growing from. My house is full of it. I can't clean my house until we resolve this problem. So every month that goes by, I'm sitting there with air cleaners in my house. I got 4 of them running constantly, just to get the mold out as best we can. But it doesn't pay to clean any of the furnace, any of the ductwork, any of the rooms, any of the fabrics, any of the walls, any of the floors, until that road is fixed. So this is the first thing.
Okay, sir,
Now,
we'll have engineer look at it and we'll get going out there.
so this is between you and P and O. You do what you want.
Now, we will do what we, because one of the
To my
major,
satisfaction. Let me put that on.
one of the major complaints that we have in this township is water on other people's property and or their property. And if the engineer says it was because of the paving, the new road, that's one thing. But if you, sounds to me like you've been living with this for many years.
I've been putting up with it for many years. Big difference.
No, that's not the town's responsibility to fix that.
Whoever paved that road,
If it's the road, that's one thing. If it's the fact that you moved in there, there's an issue, then that's not the town's problem.
that's why I accepted the first 100,000 I spent. Maybe it was my fault for buying something I should have known better. Well, I paid the price. Now it's Waterford's turn to pay the price. I did everything I could to keep that water from infiltrating my property, and looks like it's not good enough.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you.
So do I have a timeline? I'm pretty important on this.
As soon as I get that confirmation back from the engineer, then we'll come up with,
Then
basically
we'll
the study.
contact you.
I'll get back to you, later this week on specific times on the engineer.
Mr. Goodrich, did you have any
Yeah,
comment?
Are these all the pictures?
Mr. Garrett,
Yes, sir.
I got a good memory. About 20 years ago, didn't the town go out there with Mr. Kazansky and the town engineer? And everybody went out there at that time to your property? About 20 years ago? Yeah, we went, what the end result was that we basically built in an area that was not a good area to build in. That's where it gets water, but the town did do something with that. We sent our engineer up there, Mr. Kazansky, who's the president of the sanitary district, if I recall. He was one of the people there that lived, you know what I mean, right? Tom Kazansky. Okay. You don't recall anybody from the town going out there?
Well, I remember we offered the town a solution.
No, but I mean, do you recall us sending the town? Okay. My question also is, if you raised your footage 3 feet, is it the neighbor who's got the problem, or is it you that has the problem?
I also have a problem. Our lots were both, you can see when you look at it, my neighbor and the public walkway were the elevation that it was before I raised it.
What you should know is this, that if you got the perfect right to file a claim, okay? But this is a claim that we refer to our insurance company. This isn't a claim that the town does unless they can fix it right away. But if you file a claim, that's fine. there's a procedure they go through, our clerk refers it to our insurance company, and that's all it takes. But I'm quite sure that if I go back about 20 years ago, and Mr. Langmaster was chairman, and I remember Mr. Stansky, I remember he was the president of that subdivision. You're off 164, aren't you? Somewhere off.
Waterford Woods.
Waterford Woods area. I know even better. That was the case where, okay, well, subdivision, I remember this one. No, I remember this one too. He said, I was with Warren Hanson, was our engineer. And you had water, a lot of people in that subdivision had water up to their mailboxes, great.
Yes.
I was 12, we did when River Park.
Which one is that, Kenny?
I don't recall. Water in the mailbox?
Yeah, we got pictures on it. They had a lot of flooding problems in there.
That could have been Lake Point too.
That was before I was.
Okay, what subdivision is yours called?
Waterford Woods.
Waterford Woods? And I stand corrected. And it still would be the old claim that's gonna be referred to the insurance carrier.
Well, whatever.
I'm just saying, though, so it's not that we just haul something out.
What I'm doing is trying to bring this up to date. Already gave this last paving effort. I suggested we can.
Huh?
Put them on the middle of the street. Take a look at this pitch. We're all wrong.
Okay, ask a question. If the neighbor, you raise your pitch 3 feet, your neighbor has to have a water problem, right?
She always had one.
And she's not complaining about it?
I have no idea what that.
I'll have you talk to her.
No idea.
Okay, we're done with that one.
Yeah, I stand corrected on the subdivision.
But I also know
No
that
wonder I didn't remember.
it's also the fact that in today's world, you cannot add soil 3 foot in the town. The county will not allow you to do that.
The county can look at it.
It's gotta be permanent. So we're done with this. We told you what we're gonna do. Thank you. Police department.
I look forward to hearing.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Looking over our July stat data. We were assigned 390 extra calls, 106 crime preventions, 39 building checks, 95 citations written, 112 warnings, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 32 ordinance citations were written, 7 OWIs, and 1 felony arrest.
7 OWIs.
Yes, sir. Incident reports 23, supplemental reports were 8, 9 vehicle crashes, and no domestic abuse arrests. Few notable events, just to recap, and I know we talked about with the Michigan fireworks, we had no issues. We had no parking complaints. What we did is at the very end also added an officer at the intersection of North Lake and North Michigan to help egress, and also put 2 on 164 and North Lake, and the spill was less than an hour. I thought that was a big victory to have everybody cleared out that wanted to leave and not loiter by the popular boat launch. And then looking at the boat for July, the boat monthly, 24 citations, 53 written warnings, 103.5 hours on patrol, and 1 OWI arrest on the boat. That was last night. And then recapping yesterday's Michigan parade, we had no issues. One thing that we did differently this year, we had some complaints last year of some bottlenecking and people not being able to travel that east-west connection during the parade. So we put an officer to swing traffic till the very end, till that first leg of the parade got up there, which allowed them to continue to go east and west for the duration of the parade. You know, with the gaps, everything worked out very well. No complaints were logged through dispatch. I didn't get any here. That's what I have for our report.
Good job.
Thanks, sir.
Matt?
I have nothing else to add right now.
Anybody have questions? Michigan Fire.
Jamie, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Riley Walters. I'm the Vice President of District Fire. Pleasure meeting you guys. Attend my first meeting tonight. I'm stepping in for Chief Miller. We got Forston today over at South Shore. Monthly calls for us, EMS, we responded to 27 EMS calls. Of those, 21 were transports. We also had 9 fire incidents we responded to, as well as 3 PIs. We're hosting a CPR class August 24th at 10 a.m., as well as a first aid class August 29th at 1800. And car seat inspection, we've done 1 so far. And then for us, smoke detector program, we also earlier this month route in the Golden Trail subdivision area. We've been trying to get out in the community. We partnered with Pop's Pizza to hand out coupons for residents that accept a free smoke detector from us. So we actually went out one day, nice weather. Anyone who had a garage door open in Midwest America, we think that the universal come say hello. So we got out, spoke with some town residents, we ended up handing out, I believe, 4 smoke detectors and 2 CO detectors. Got a chance to meet some of our neighbors. Outside of that, in terms of public events, we attended the parade yesterday. As always, thank you for having us. And we attended 2 funerals, one for our Captain Mike Corker and then one for Union Grove Yorkville. Captain Mike Corker's father.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, clarify that.
I just caught, I saw the.
Jesus.
I can still look. And then for Union Grove Yorkville firefighter Eugene Powell. So during those times, we were able to backstaff our area and answer calls during that time. Past that, you guys have any questions? Oh, and I'd like to also pass along to Chief Miller. The quote that we sent you guys regarding some of the purchase items, DFID education tool that you have right here. We hope you guys have had some time to do that. Get back to us on that soon. We would like to let you know, I believe Chief Miller spoke to LifePak, who's the defibrillator manufacturer. They are expecting possibly 10% increases in the price of DFIDs coming soon. So the sooner you guys can review that and get back to us, if we could possibly make use of some of those funds, the quicker we can get. Hopefully that equipment for your price takes long. We all know supply chains right now. So any questions for me?
What time did you see the CPR class was again on the 24th?
Our CPR class is going to be at 10 a.m.
Thanks.
At the fire station.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the program, the CPR program that or the DFib program that you're buying through?
The LifePak.
Yeah, I mean, are you part of that purchase?
Yeah, somewhat. Chief Miller has been more so in contact with LifePak. I'm very familiar with the manufacturer of LifePak. These are an upgrade from our current DFib monitors we have. We have Philips. Philips actually no longer services and or makes the monitor brand that we have. So we have different size blood pressure cups, for children, adults, so on. We can't even get those blood pressure cups anymore. They don't manufacture them. So this upgrade for the LifePak series is more than necessary and needed. And as someone who works on a couple different services too, LifePak is very commonly used in this area. So if I get in the back of someone else's ambulance or someone comes back of mine, they should be familiar with it. It has a lot of great features that'll help us provide high level of care. And some of the AEDs we're looking at too would be distributed out to our first responder paramedics that are in the community. And that actually gives them the ability to interpret and see an EKG rhythm or ECG rhythm on the screen. So Chief Miller is filling me in. I've been out for a little bit on some of that financial end of it, but in terms of the operational and the practical end of it, I would say it'd be a much appreciated purchase to get.
So I guess we brought this up last month before when it was brought up originally. Are they different than the one you have in the that style?
Yes,
So
they will. So that what we see right here.
Right, that one's an old one, I get it, but yours will have the screen on it where it's more advanced than what we carry.
Yeah, so this would be good for our first responder paramedics that should they arrive to a cardiac arrest, they would actually be able to see what heart rhythm that person's in, thus better dictating treatment once either our ambulance is on scene or they have a first responder bag that could then allow them to begin advanced cardiac life support on scene. So for us, it would be a big advantage.
So the LifePak 15, the 3 that you're asking for would be the ones in the squad?
Yes, those would be the ones in the ambulance, and then I don't know what the AED models are written down or coded as in there, but those would be the ones that distributed to the first responders as well.
Do they have like a 5-year lease to buy program?
I believe so. I got to double check with Chief Miller. I know they run it, I think.
Well, I asked Tina to include the packet of the 3 items that he had asked for. on there. One obviously is the UNC stocking for the DFib. The other one is the CPR virus and extrication tools. Especially with the DFibs being where we can't get parts for them anymore. I think this is an item that we should be looking into very strongly. Possibly at a 5-year where we, lease to buy or something like that. What's the rest of the board's feelings on that?
It'll change after 5 years.
Well, it's something where, you know how the program works? You pay a lease it for 5 years, then it's yours?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what it was, I thought.
My question, why
We pay about 20,000 more for the product
Do you?
over that 5 years.
If you go with the 5-year, does that include the extended warranty that we have to pay for, or is that extra then?
I believe all that was included. I don't have the quotes in front of me, but I believe it was included.
Okay.
Let's just get a copy of that. Then we can make a decision quickly if we need to.
why 3 of them?
So we have 3 paramedic level ambulances, so that would be one to replace each Phillips monitor, each one.
I was one of the non-transport, right?
Yes.
Because I was too ornery.
What?
Yeah.
Chief, didn't you want to tie into that?
Well, we did, but the ones that they're purchasing or requesting to purchase are above the level that we are trained at and utilize.
Okay. So you need to be, would have to be trained also.
We already are, but on a lower model, I guess is how they,
Chief, to kind of clarify, these models, if I'm not mistaken, they will still act and function as a normal AED does, where they will prompt you to place pads on a patient's chest, walk you through that. It also has, for the paramedic or the advanced provider, it'll show them that rhythm. So kind of they're making their care plan of how to best reverse the cardiac arrest. They will then be able to see that. So your officers would be able to come in and, grab one of these AED, a layperson should be able to grab one of these AEDs and use them. It just has options and features that then a paramedic provider such as myself can look at and use that to dictate my treatment.
So like we're 12 lead in that.
Yes.
we're running the same problem with I think 4 units that we have, plus the town hall owns one. They're all out, ours are outdated, and some of them aren't even supported anymore. I think most of them
I
are.
would suggest
So-
you get with them.
Chief Miller, you get together this
Well,
week so we can.
We did, last month, okay, I can never.
Okay,
So last month, I asked, and I discussed that with Chief Miller. We have our serial numbers, we did an inventory, and I have the information. I was gonna give it to him in person tonight, but I have it. And that was discussions if we could get on this buying cycle. So we're all using the same equipment, and it's, and if we have to have a little training, that's fine. It's part of our training cycle. But yeah, we have some very ancient things, but we have the inventory, it's done, and I can provide him via email or,
And get a discount.
that was the
That's
goal.
The purchase,
That's
that's why we brought it up last month.
You left 2 pads on me the other day.
that's so they can track you.
It's the government.
Okay, the other thing I had was, we had talked about EMS coverage and everything for quite a while. I guess I'll go out on the limb and say I'd like to make a motion to go to EMS coverage the way it was before 2020 between Michigan and Waterford. Because we seem to have kicked this can down the road for a long time.
Second that motion.
Discussion.
I think they're doing fine right now.
Yeah, I agree. I've had no complaints from any residents on
I haven't
our
had,
department, or anything like that, you know what I mean? I've got no paperwork, or anything, what the village is even gonna charge. I know you, Doug, you mentioned it, but are they gonna bill the same rate our fire department does? Are they gonna charge more for
You mean to the patients themselves?
patients themselves? That's what
I can
worry
ask
about.
them. I don't know what theirs is. I don't know what Tishkin's is. I can ask both of
Well,
them.
but that's something we should
the
worry about for
chief
the taxpayer.
retired, you know that.
Oh, yes, I did.
So I don't want them to, our taxpayers
That's why
to
I
be
think it would
billed
be a good time when we have new
Huge.
blood in there.
in the village, and ours is less. I mean, I don't even know what our
Right,
bill
we
rate
just need to
is.
see what
What's
the village will
Michigan?
do,
Yeah.
what they'll charge us.
Okay, I can get that. Tishkin, can you
What's
get me
Tishkin?
your, what you charge within the next month, please? Okay, and I will get Waterford's and we'll talk then.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposing it. Why would we vote for it when we?
Could I make a addendum depending on
why
what the
would we-
charges are?
You can just vote for something that we don't want yet. We have
That's
no
right.
facts.
We need to find out what the charges will be first.
Okay, what's your vote?
We
I oppose it.
we can vote to take a look at it and find out what the charges will be.
That's not what the motion was.
That's
Well,
not-
Can I amend my
Amendment.
motion that we
Yes.
look first at the charges
Yes.
and then I'll bring it back next month then?
Yeah. On the agenda next month?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And thank you for working on that, getting that back to me then.
Okay, so are you rescinding your motion?
Yes.
Okay. We're moving on.
Will he rescind the second?
Yeah, we sent this 2 each second.
Okay, I'll rescind the second.
Okay,
The motion is.
there is a,
There's not.
It'll be on the agenda for next month.
Okay.
it'll be on the agenda.
Because last month, we said the committee came up with the 3 different options.
Yes.
Looking at CUD, looking at going back to the old coverage, and looking at a fire district. The village is on board with communicating with us, so I think sooner than later, we should be meeting with the village and discussing this and not just keep crawling along at such a slow pace.
I'll see what I can do to get on our pricing.
Okay, thank you.
WWMD. Nobody here?
Bill was here this morning.
I was at their meeting. They did get the money for the small harvester, but they haven't picked it up as of yet, but they did get the check and did their deposit.
Well, they're showing up again tomorrow at my place, so. I'm watching. Park,
Park, not a whole lot for the park, just trying to keep up, try to get the park in best shape as we can for the end of the month commercial venue, so just trying to keep up with the park stuff. Moving on to the roads. Depending upon how the weather schedule is, the next couple of days, they're gonna start pulverizing East Bay, Tamarack, and Bowers Bay Drive Wednesday. It should get the paving hopefully by Saturday. I don't know how the weather goes.
don't make it too high.
No, we won't. We haven't gotten the paperwork for Town Line Road yet. It's supposed to arrive this August. Don't know when, but as soon as that arrives, we'll get on board to get that underway. Get that open up a bit soon. Well, first of all, get approval from Norway, which we mentioned there.
Well, I talked to Tom Kramer, so.
We finished the front sidewalk here at Roach, but he kind of, was doing the right coming in here tonight. Anybody notice that? We worked on that together with the sanitary district and we had we didn't hire anybody to do it. Did it all with in-house, just, cost of materials.
It's really nice.
Yep.
It's really nice.
That's really good.
Last but not least, a lot of people are calling on August 27th, clean sweep. A lot of people, I think, are gonna be in attendance. The only out-of-pocket expenses for that, for the constituents, are the TVs and computer monitors at 35 apiece. The rest of the stuff is free of charge for the residents.
And I just want to add something, just so people know. There are things around called rage rooms. Have you heard of them? There's a few in Milwaukee, Brookfield.
Come to my house.
Yeah, people can go and smash things and they pay, well, those type of places will take in TVs and they'll be glad to take it for free because they charge people to smash them. So if you want to get rid of something like that for free,
They
you're always
do.
welcome to drop it off someplace like that.
Go for that.
Well, there's some in Brookfield, some in Milwaukee, we just have to look it up. They're
Give me
called
a
rage
number.
rooms.
Who do you get to smash it on?
You just go in a room and they give you some golf clubs and you can smash stuff.
I think we should open one of those here.
Ken, did you make what you were gonna do with that guardrail on Kramer and Milwaukee?
Yeah, we're gonna get it out, but.
Aren't you gonna
by the
replace
time
it?
we do it, yeah.
My burial plots are right over that.
Slow people down.
That's
Yeah, no,
a-
I'm on the headstone eventually, you know what I mean? I already got one there.
that's a good
So when you
place
say
for
you
it.
don't want anybody running over it,
I don't want it run over, I want to rest in peace.
Ah, you won't be there.
People are dying to get it.
No hurry.
And last, we have interviews.
yep, they've been notified, for August 4th, starting at 5.
Okay,
It's Thursday. Anybody else from the board coming?
I hope.
I will.
So you're posting it then as a.
I
board
can
meeting,
now.
Leah? Okay.
Yep.
15 minutes each.
20.
20, okay.
And that will be a closed section for the interviews
Mhm.
and open for a decision.
Doesn't have to go to all of us over the decision, or just those that night to decide.
Well, that's a good question. Is this going to be where we narrow it down to maybe 3 or? is
I
this
would have,
going to be a five?
yeah, I would jump the gun so fast on having to narrow it down to at least
Take
2 or
the
3.
6 that I requested, and we'll interview the 6 and make a decision. And then during that interview, we would ask them if they would like to do part-time during the winter months, or they need to have full-time.
So you're gonna be there Thursday then when they interview?
I hope to.
Oh, okay, because I was confused for a second. I thought they were narrowing it
I
down to
won't.
3. No.
And that's again pending on background checks and passing a physical,
right.
those kind of things too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will rely on you guys. That's fine. And Kenny, of course. To, and Jim, if you want to be there, that's fine. Okay, Board of Health. Oh, no, don't go on and on.
Nope, I'm not, because we're all tired of hearing the word COVID. We're at medium risk. There's a 4% hospitalization rate. It's basically a stuffy nose right now, basically what it is. They have changed it that you do not need to get a negative test to stop isolating, because you may show positive for weeks after recovery. So, Biden,
Talk to Biden.
yeah, I'm sitting around as an excuse. You don't have to test negative. You can keep getting a positive result weeks later. We talked last time a little bit about summer dangers, heat, stroke. We do have a 211 that you can call for cooling centers. A big push that they're doing now, obviously, is never leave kids or animals in the vehicle. We do have a law, AB 308, that you may smash in somebody's window after calling the police if you need to retrieve a child or an animal that's locked in a hot car. You have to call the police first and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, but you may smash the window to get a child. I don't know how anybody could forget their kid in the backseat, but anyway, emergency preparedness, tornadoes, other emergencies, crchd.com. A lot of information, the stuff you should have, supplies you should have in your home, making a plan. A big thing is to take a first aid class, which we have one coming up on the 24th at 10 o'clock for free for town residents. And there's a big thing about food safety guidelines there too for picnics, graduation parties, especially when food is going to be outside. There's a big sheet about food safety guidelines that you can check out on there too. And that's it this time. Was
Okay.
it very painful, was it?
No, because I'm gonna ask you another one.
Okay,
What's happening with the court?
but the court
Yeah.
should be in session in person. It has been since I called her in May, I believe.
Oh, our court? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have been in person.
Okay,
So we're back. Yes, we're back. Oh, and I'm sorry, the health department office now is located on Rain Road in Sturtevant as of today. Mhm. We have a new office.
and we have a new director of that, which was the past assistant director.
Yeah, Jeff Langwood.
Yeah,
Oh, he's one, okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Town planning, there was nothing on the agenda. Okay, we're gonna make this as quick as we can. Old business, garbage and recycling proposals, and I would like Kenny's input on this also. But I'm gonna let Doug and Dale lead this as to their recommendation.
Well, first, we had some questions, I believe we were gonna ask them about going on the private roads and that.
Yes.
Now, Green for Life is not here because I did not ask them to be here. So I didn't know, yeah, but that's, oh, you are here, okay. I was expecting Bill.
Hey, I'm sorry you've been sitting there all night.
Hey, always fun listening.
Maybe that wasn't open, they could tell us how they're gonna address those issues,
I think the only issue is private roads.
just private roads.
So what, I guess, is your questions?
So,
If you could just come up and your name and
Sure.
address, please.
It's Jason Johnson, Green for Life, GFL, your current vendor in Muskego. Good to see everybody again. So I guess what specifically would be your question? 'Cause
Well,
we can do it in various ways, you know,
before I was
obviously.
on, there was numerous complaints from people on private roads that they weren't getting their garbage picked up, from what I understand.
When it icy, usually in the
Sure.
winter time.
Well, you know, number one, safety is paramount. So, you know, we need to make sure that we can access the road safely and do it that way. You know, we do have some smaller trucks that we can use. You know, the private roads are always an issue, quite frankly, no matter where we're at. As your town attorney can attest to, there are some legal concerns that we also have that, you know, we would probably want to address as well, that we're allowed to go up the roads in the sense that we used to service the town of Vernon until Waste Management bought that part of our company when we were Advanced Disposal. In those locations, we actually did require the residents to sign off that we're able to go up there, because similar to the gentleman here, where the road looks fine when you move in, and 5 years later, it's beat up, and it's our trucks that we're going down it. So we're cognizant of it. We go through a lot of that in the services that we do out in the Lake Country area, around Okachi, et cetera. So there's a number of ways that we can do it. But, you know, it does need to be a good partnership where it's clean, you know, salted, hopefully, but I know a lot of folks will use sand. But we do alleyways that are very narrow, and, you know, if we can communicate the right way, we can always come back out the next day, come back at the end of the route, but, you know, we view it as a partnership, so.
There again, I wasn't on the board, and it seemed like part of it was a lack of communication. They didn't go down there, which could have been an icy road where they didn't
Right.
want to, but at the end of the day, maybe they could communicate with the town saying, we didn't go down there due to.
Right.
Oh, they
exactly.
communicate.
the people
Donnie's
who-
really good at communicating,
Right.
yes. Yes, Donnie will let me
I was
know.
gonna say, I think Donnie's been.
Yes.
You know, I'm never gonna say we're perfect, but I think we do a pretty good job, and obviously my mug is the same. That's been here quite a few times. They're getting pretty gray though, so.
See, I think
but-
that's the biggest problems, like some that aren't, and so like garbage wasn't being picked up because they weren't salted or they were
Right.
salted or. And then people are calling myself or Heather and,
Sure.
you know,
Tina, for a while, you had trouble getting through to management, right?
yes, until I finally talked to Bill. and-
Sure. And one thing we're really happy about, and Tina probably remembers when we were advanced, corporate went to the big behemoth of a call center, which caused a lot of
Mhm.
angst for residents. That's one thing we're really happy about at GFL, our customer care service.
Yeah.
Right in Muskego, which has made a huge difference for those times where we do have the times where we make a mistake or something, and the folks when they call in actually know the answers, and it's not a million, I don't know, let me put you on hold, and that takes 15-20 minutes. So we're really excited about that commitment from our new company.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason. Oh,
That's a quick.
I just had a question regarding one of the worst roads is Briarwood. I know that.
Mhm.
The plan on paving is gonna solve what's problem. It may help a little bit.
Sure.
But they don't, I don't know if they're gonna solve it or what they're gonna do, maybe talk from time to time.
Okay.
Still, the issue's still gonna be there because it's so steep.
Right.
that one being a problem, what about having a flat spot on the bottom? Could we bring their cans to? I don't know how many homes up there,
Right,
A lot.
just thinking out loud,
Right.
potentially.
That won't work.
I'm sure the folks wouldn't like that. to
Right,
bring the
yeah,
cans
that won't
down.
work.
But
You know, we could always wait more till the end of the day.
Yeah.
To your point, if they're doing salt or something, to let that kind of take effect.
Especially with the new bigger ones, if they're senior citizens, they don't want to drag them.
Yeah, we have a
out.
lot of older people that can't.
Well, your drive is how long?
Well, it's like a quarter of a mile long and there's two of us, so my concern is you're going to 95-gallon containers after January 1st, right?
Assuming, I don't
Well,
want to
assuming
use
we
that
have the
word.
contract.
If we're awarded the contract to continue, we would want to have that discussion of when you would want to change. Obviously, as the incumbent, January 1st is just another day on the calendar for us. But with that being said, we do not want to change over the holidays. So we would either move it up in the year and change the services that way, because delivering carts is never fun in the snow, in the holidays, and a change. So we would probably, if, as the incumbent, were awarded it, we would want to have a discussion with the board to maybe start November, December, or move it back to March or April when the snow is gone.
But that's where it's going, right? It's gonna be 95-gallon containers.
Correct,
Mhm.
correct.
Okay.
We do offer a hardship provision in our contract where if a resident is physically unable to put the containers roadside, you have that now in your contract, but it does creep up a little bit more with the larger bins. All we ask for is a doctor's note, and we ask that the board approves it. Generally, someone on the board or on staff will know that this isn't just someone being difficult and resistant to change. We generally cap it at about 3%. I've never seen it happen where we do it. Most communities, we probably have about a dozen that call in. People are pretty honest and don't take advantage of the system, but we do limit it on the driveway distance though.
But see, for those of us who live on long country drives on state highways, you know, to get 2 sets of 95-gallon containers on recycling week on both sides when there's snow, and be able to have ingress and egress and not have the truck, you know, blow them into the, and just to drag them down the driveway, they're too big to put in my trunk. So I don't know how I can get them all the way down there. But I guess that's my problem. Now, there's still bulky waste that can be picked up at curbside. I wonder how many people actually leave bulky waste at curbside?
Well,
And have
You'd be surprised. Yeah.
They do.
We get quite a few calls for it. Yeah.
So the recycling center would stay open. And Ken, do you have enough containers up there? I know often you've said in the summer you don't
Should
have
have enough containers for now, and if it starts to have a trend with more, as time goes on, maybe we'll have to add, but. What's the next size down from the 90?
There are 65-gallon carts.
Is that probably gonna be?
The only difference of that, it's about 7 inches in height. It's about 1.5 inches less wide and less deep. So if the 95 is too big for your garage or too difficult to wheel down, a 65 isn't that much different. In fact, I've had some elderly people say they preferred the 95 and we re-swapped it because the 65 tilts a little bit lower. I would be against putting a 65-gallon out if you do every other week recycling, because just the amount of cardboard, you think of a milk jug that doesn't pack down like a regular bag of garbage does. So I would always say bigger is better for that.
One personal annoyance I have is looking at the village, you can hardly distinguish the color between the two recycling and the garbage. Why don't you make one like a bright blue and a black or something that's, I can hardly tell the difference between the colors.
I'm sure Nate could be happy to answer that. We'll go with a totally different lid. We could do
Well, if
2
it's-
different cans, but if we kind of like,
Something has to be a more distinct color to.
on our cans, we have a big sticker on the top that says recyclables.
Yeah,
so-
but I mean, from a distance though,
Well, our
The
drivers,
drivers know.
they pick it up.
work on that. You're the only company that excludes electronics totally. One of the others was included in bulk collection, The other was $35 per monitor. Is there any way you could do something about electronics?
We'd be willing to discuss that if we're awarded the contract.
Okay.
As we just heard, there is a clean sweep program. TVs are very expensive. I'm sure that my competitor will agree.
Yeah,
They've thrown that in, that's up to them, but,
but to throw them in your car, drag them somewhere where even if we had to pay $35, it could be picked up at curbside, if that could be a possibility. Just from my point of view. So that's all I've got.
Thank you.
thank you.
Sir?
Basically, same questions.
Yeah. A good memory.
Hi, I'm Nick from John's Disposal. We are family owned and operated. We've been in business for over 50 years, exclusively in southeastern Wisconsin. John is my grandfather-in-law, so I married into the garbage business. We currently hold.
That didn't sound right.
Talked to my wife about that. And,
Where's your headquarters, please?
Whitewater. We would most likely, if we were awarded the contract, we would service the town out of our Franksville Town and Norway location. We hold about 65 municipal contracts. We service roughly 150,000 homes per week. All right here. Our call center is in Whitewater. I am the account representative for all of our contracts. I work with all of our municipalities. One big issue I think that faces the town is converting from manual to automated collection, which is what we propose. We have successfully done that in, I'd say over 30 or 35 of our communities. So every issue from long roads to the size of carts to walk-up service is what we call it, or backdoor service. We have worked through, I think, everything that could come up in the town and successfully put those to rest.
So what's your solution for a quarter-mile driveway on gravel for an old guy?
A tow bar. Yeah, you make a tow bar that goes in a 2-inch receiver. You put it on your golf cart or your Ranger or your car. We see those used. There's a company that's in Janesville Township that makes them that we refer people to. Otherwise, some people keep them down at the road. There's a lot of different ways to get rid of your garbage.
So this thing, it still rolls on the wheels, or it's?
Yes, sir.
I can't imagine that would not go flippy flopping, but I'd have to see one first.
They do just fine.
Okay.
And then same, we do the, elderly door service. We do our cart exchanges at no additional cost. So if we were awarded the contract, we would deliver everyone in the town a 95-gallon cart for garbage and for recycling. Dale, to your question about the colors of the carts, we use 2 different manufacturers. The Village of Waterford has largely the brand Toter. We don't use them as much anymore. Those containers are very similar in color. Now we get most of our carts from Prairie Pacific. Color is a little bit more distinguished between the two. However, the reason we do that instead of a brightly colored one is we believe in the earth tones, and we want the carts to blend in. We do not want them to stick out. They're labeled on the top and on the side, garbage recycling, one with the logo. So at your house, you'll know which is which, and at the curb, our drivers will know which is which.
Mistakes, right?
Private roads.
Yes.
That's a big one. So, I mean, the communities that we serve, including, town of Norway or Troy, East Troy, we service many private roads, and our general policy is we're going to go up them as long as we're able to. And so in the winter, sometimes the weather changes that, especially because associations are notorious for trying to save some money on their plowing, or that guy gets there at the end of the day and we're there at the beginning of the day. We're going to make attempts, to correct that. We've had some associations say that the curb weight of the truck is too much. And so we do have some other options, but they're going to cost people who live on private roads more money. It's hard to do that and just shift all of that cost to the town, where some people don't live on a private road and don't have the same issues.
So are you saying there could be 2 building structures?
No, I'm just saying that is a way that we've worked it out in the past. I mean, we do small truck service. We've grown quite a bit in that this year, where we offer service essentially with a 1-ton pickup. where people have both their garbage and recycling collected in one pass. And I've had entire associations shift from curbside to that style in order to keep the curb weight down and save their roads. So that does happen as well. I'm gonna put John on the spot if I can. We work with the city of Franklin, and I've had a good working relationship with him so long as we've been there. And maybe he could speak a little bit to the service that we provide the city.
If I'm allowed to.
Go ahead.
I'll be very brief. We, I'll put my city of Franklin hat, we've been with John's, how many years now? Well, I know I've been involved in 2-year contracts, maybe 3. Exceptional service, switched over from manual to automated. That was a big deal. The 95-gallon receptacle, no matter who you go with, I believe is the way to go. Complaints very minimal. Things are going very smooth. So that's my 2 cents.
Any other questions I can ask about our company? Electronics came up. Probably for the last 4 years, we've included that with our bulk collection. I believe our bulk items collection curbside to be the most inclusive. Any company is offering. We include electronics, we include multiple items. Our goal is not to nickel and dime customers, but rather to give you the option that you need. And then all of the recycling center costs are included in our proposal, because we understood that was important to the town. Your recycling center, at least on paper, is quite costly. But if that's what residents prefer and like to use that, then really you have an option. You can get rid of bulk curbside, or you can take it to the recycling center. The town wouldn't need to pick one or the other. You can always look at both of them. So we kind of quoted it both ways for it.
Anybody else?
Did you say anything about how many special pickups? you do?
So the curbside bulk that we quoted is once a month. So up to one time a month, the resident can call and get rid of multiple items. You know, the Village of most of our communities have that. Your neighboring communities, Village of Waterford and Town of Norway, neither of them have that. And that works for them as well. And they don't have drop-off centers either. So we do offer paid special pickups. So if you needed to exceed the one a month, or the town opted not to include curbside bulk collection, residents could still call us if it's a community that we have a contract.
Norway offers the free pickups in your yearly schedule.
For electronics.
Recycling center, 'cause it's in the town of Norway.
Yep. Town of Norway, we do a once annual shred and electronics event. That's the biggest one that we do.
You don't smash them?
No.
Who stores them?
We partner with Dynamic Lifecycle Innovations. They're out of La Crosse. So for us, our charges on electronics handling and processing is a pass-through. So we're a transporter. If you have a tube TV, we collect it, we take it back, and we have a semi-trailer load, we send it to Dynamic. And they smash it.
Must have a lot.
Oh, we have a lot. They have a lot.
And the literature, you said you had 95 or 48 gallon carts, are they basically the same size, and can you switch back and forth?
You can, yes. So we do no charges for card exchanges. If you want to do it once a month, we might look at something a little bit different there, but generally people pick the size that they're going to use and they stick with that. 48 gallon cart is obviously half the size. They're shorter. We take up a little bit less room in the garage.
And your bulk collection, do you have to call that in, or
Yes.
did the drivers notice it and take care of it?
Call the schedule, and when you call our office, it takes about 2 minutes to get set up the first time. After that, it's usually under a 1-minute phone call. I'll tell you when we'll be there.
If I can just remind you on our bulk program, they get a week. One item, so it's a little bit different.
Well, Dan, what's your opinion? They are very close.
We're in the horns of a dilemma because they're both excellent presentations, excellent companies. Price is fairly close. Very close. Let's pick at this point. Anybody else have a comment?
Well, we're gonna do
Just-
it, we're gonna do it within the month. When's our contract up?
December.
Oh, yeah, December 31st.
Okay, so
You have any opinion?
I think we have two people that are in the running here, in my opinion.
I agree.
They're both very good, both great presentations.
I just think they both know what they're doing. We just don't want the complaints from the public. That's the biggest issue.
Going to automate it, there will be, no matter which company has. it.
Yes, they both are.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different.
No, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not gonna please, well, it's impossible to please everybody, so.
Yes.
Yes.
Bottom line is, we'll let you know within a month. Worst case.
And Mr. Chairman, so I know that this was posted, so I mean, people have had the chance to come in and discuss, and I know we only have one resident here, but maybe we ask if she has anything to say, or?
Not where she lives.
Wow.
No, she doesn't have to worry about ice and,
Well, that part's true, yes.
right?
So it's tough. I run it all over.
It's not an easy business, period, no matter who you are. So, okay,
So we're gonna have a special meeting or put this on next month's agenda?
I'll make that decision.
Okay.
Do we have
Sorry,
time till
Jason, I
next
haven't
month to
seen
make
you in a
decision?
while, so we're all getting gray hair. Yeah, that's right. So it's like I was looking for Bill.
For coming tonight, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nathan. Have a good night.
Forthcoming events, car shows, the only thing. I have.
Well, bingo starts Thursday.
Oh, that's all
All right, bingo resumes, the car show. At the end of the month.
right. Okay, I
Is it-
need a motion to adjourn unless somebody.
So moved.
Second.
Adjourn at 5:35.
No,
6:35.
6:30.